are back. Welcome to yet another episode of Let's Eat Orlando with Amy, Drew, and Biggie. I am Amy Drew.
And I am Biggie.
And together we're here to talk about something interesting today. A very, very kind of a deep topic for us to launch into on our, on one of our first podcasts together. We're going to talk about vegan spots and eating vegan to some extent, at least. Biggie, how do you feel about vegan restaurants?
So this is
This is
one of those. It is a loaded question, but I will tell you, I'm no expert. I will say that when I give major props because obviously I know there's a lot of health benefits when it comes to being vegan and on how people feel, and I also know, as someone who does eat meat and all those things and is not a vegan, that it's very difficult to try to sometimes replicate these flavors that maybe you're used to. So it's a lot of hard work, and I give a lot of props to try to make things taste plant-based and at the same time taste how you may possibly have remembered or how it should be. So I think I try to go in when I try to eat or have, any vegan options of something that is supposed to be. I try to be open-minded, and I try not to go, oh, it's going to taste like this. I just want to know, does it taste good? Does it not taste good? That's kind of how I've kind of tried it. And that's kind of how I've kind of gone the route. It's not usually my number one option though.
Well, I can tell you from experience because I ate vegan for almost a year, for 10 months.
Wow.
This was many moons ago. Obviously, that's not something that I can do these days. But I really enjoyed my time eating plant-based. I did feel healthier. I did feel like a better human being. I'm not going to lie. However, I will say this, I was not a processed food person. I wasn't then, and I still am not. And so when you say veganism can be healthier, it can be healthy, but you can eat a lot of processed junk. When you're a vegan, the only difference is it is plant-based processed junk. So you're not necessarily eating healthier as a vegan, though you're probably eating healthier just for cutting out all of the saturated animal fats and all of that stuff. I loved being vegan. I learned to be a better cook when I was vegan. When you want to cook good food and you are vegan, your pantry will triple or quadruple with all of the different spices and the different oils and the different things that you use to flavor your food. So if you want to be vegan and you want to actually learn to cook vegan food, you're gonna need more space in the pantry. So that's one thing I can say. But the other thing is, in talking about making things taste like meat, there are a lot of people who want that. That wasn't anything that I was that interested in, and I know that a lot of vegans, they don't eat meat because they don't miss meat and they don't want things to taste like meat. However, there are plenty of people that are like, oh, I want to eat plant-based, but I would love a good burger. And I have to say, the Impossible Burger is a miracle of modern science. That Impossible Whopper does not taste any different from the regular one. I don't care. I defy anyone to prove that you could really, really taste the difference with all that stuff on it.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's when it's like, when you're able to do something like that, I have no problem with it. My wife likes to too. She'll do sometimes she'll go that route where she'll do like a vegan, or a plant-based something, or more like, hey, we're not going to eat any meat. We're going to do more vegetables and beans and stuff like that. And there's some things that we have, like some chicken tenders that my daughter buys that are, I would have no clue if they were, if it was real chicken, not real chicken, especially if I'm putting a Chick-fil-A sauce on it. I would have no idea.
Vegans would argue it's better to eat that just because it's cruelty free for sure. And I can't argue that point, but I just have no interest in that stuff. Like when I eat vegan, I like to eat natural things that taste natural. I love Isa Chandra Moskowitz. She's a phenomenal vegan chef, and I think she still has a restaurant, I think in Oklahoma, Idaho, something. But her cookbooks are just the best. I have favorite recipes that I repeat all the time, but they are recipes. They're not, the beet burgers are not supposed to taste like hamburger. They're beet burgers and they're delicious, but they are not supposed to taste like meat.
And I think to me that's I will say to me that's the hard part when someone says to me, um, hey, have this barbecue pork sandwich made out of jackfruit. I'm kind of like, I wish you would just tell me this was like you're making me like a portobello mushroom, burger or an eggplant, sandwich, something like that, or a broccoli sandwich. You know what I mean? Like, I think to me that I would probably those I'd be more open to be like, yeah, let's have it, let's do it, as opposed to telling me this is what it is. And then when I take a bite of it, that's what my brain's thinking, and then I'm like, this does not taste like what I'm supposed to. What I
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
that a lot of times with those names, you set yourself up for failure,
Yeah,
by
yeah,
saying things like burger. But I recently tried, and I know you did too,
yes,
um, a vegan deli
I
at
did.
Market on South called the Kind Cleaver, which is a great name, by the
It's
way.
super good, super good.
And I have to say, for people who need that itch scratched, which is kind of what happened with Justin Rodriguez, who created the brand and the company, is he missed sandwiches. This was a comfort food for him growing up. I think one of his parents is from New York, one of his parents is from New Jersey. The concept of the corner store, the bodega, the deli, whatever you have on the corner where you run and get a sandwich, it's a very real thing to people from this part of the country, even though he grew up in Florida. So he grew up with that. And it was always when they didn't want to cook sandwiches, when they didn't want to. So it was just a comfort food for him. And when he decided to be vegan, which started as a health issue for him, um, one of the things that he missed was like that nice cold cut sandwich. And so he decided to learn to make his own, which to me is just the coolest thing.
No, I actually so I did try I tried their like Calle Ocho, their Cuban, and I actually after having it, I went down the rabbit hole. I started kind of looking and trying to figure out like, okay, how, like, there's a lot of work and effort that goes into trying to make something like this, like a deli, make something that looks like a meat and slices like a deli
It's a
slice.
texture thing, and he
Correct.
talked about that. But one of the things he pointed out, and this part is true, is that largely when you get a deli meat, a lot of the flavor comes from things like garlic and cayenne pepper and whatever spices and herbs you're putting in this basically giant sausage that you then slice up, right?
Yeah.
So you can, all of those things are vegan.
Yeah.
So you can flavor the seitan, which is a viral wheat gluten. It's
Yep.
basically the protein from the wheat.
Mm-hmm.
So when people say, what do vegans eat for
Site.
protein? Vegans can get protein. They have no problem. Stop saying that to them.
Yeah.
they
Yeah. And I
they're vegan bodybuilders and they get protein. They need it and they get it.
Yeah. No, and that's one of the things I saw about when it comes to the Citeen is the fact that like the flour base, and I've seen some deli meats because I started looking because I have a friend who is a known YouTuber. His name is Mark. He's a sauce stash. And he basically is always, I'm always watching. That's kind of how I know, or at least watch as much when it comes to having to do with vegan and like plant based stuff. He's always making stuff like that. And so I actually watched after I ate the sandwich. I actually literally went online starting to try to figure out. I'm like, okay, how do they do this? Because it's a lot of work involved, and there's like three different versions on how they can make this. Like they obviously the wheat flour based. There's also like a tofu version that you would do.
Mhm.
Tofu. There's also another version with like chickpea flour, and you make it. And I was amazed by the amount of work. Like, I mean, that's kind of like it's a labor of love because obviously you really gotta want to eat this to,
Mhm.
or and to take that much work in order to kind of to produce and try to create these flavors, for you to be able to then be able to create something that allows you to then slice like a deli meat.
Right. And I think that that's really, where he nails this. It does have, to me, and I'm not speaking for you, it has that texture. When I ate the classic, which is kind of like their take on the kind of like an Italian hero, I guess. And you have all that stuff. You have this great roll. The bread there comes from Old Hearth. And you have all of the good cold crunchies like the lettuce and the tomato and the vinaigrette and the Dijon or whatever he puts on there. Um, and then you have the texture of these things that really feel and bite like cold cuts. And so for me, I thought anybody who is plant-based, it may not scratch the itch. For people who are doing Meatless Monday, try it. But for somebody who misses that and who's eating plant-based, or just trying to cut back on the meat, I feel like, boom, that Cuban, you have to admit, that would scratch the itch for somebody who couldn't eat a genuine Cuban.
Yeah, I do think so. I mean,
It's
I
got the
actually,
pickles, it's got the mustard, there's a level of cheese, which I think really has to go in sandwiches. Because I will admit, as amazing as Impossible meat is, I do not think anyone has come out with a cheese equivalent. I
no,
don't think that the vegans have the best cheese yet. I
no.
think we're still waiting for that.
Yeah, that's still
But it
happening.
does do a
But
good job of holding things together.
it does. It does. And I know when I had the calle ocho is what they call it, right? They're
Mhm.
Cuban. You recommended, and I thought it was a great touch. To the point where I'm like, next time I have a Cuban, I may ask for them to do the same thing, putting the maduros, the sweet plantain,
So good.
into the sandwich with their garlic aioli. I love the idea of it. Usually when I have a Cuban, and so I will preface this. I usually I'm very it's gonna be very hard to make me happy with a Cuban. I am Cuban. I eat a lot of Cuban sandwiches, so like I tend to be picky. So I will say that when someone tells me, "Hey, have my Cuban," I don't usually, if it's not a traditional Cuban, I'm okay with it being not being a traditional Cuban, but I will close my eyes and kind of compartmentalize and not make it, not try to judge it based on it being this is what it is, but based on what they did, even though I added added the maduros, I thought it was good for a vegan Cuban sandwich.
That is all that I would ask of you because you
I
don't eat this way. But think about
correct.
somebody who can't have Cubans on wheels.
I correct. I will say
Think about that poor guy.
yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad. I will say that I liked out of the ones out of, because what I did was when I ate it, I actually did disassemble it. So I actually ate it like a sandwich, and then I was curious, okay, because there's some things that kind of like there was a lot of pickle, there was a lot of mustard flavor, so a lot of those things get lost. And then me as an eater, I was curious.
I
So then
think the ham that he makes is
yes,
really hammy,
yes,
right?
I will say out of the two, the ham and the pork, slices, the ham I thought I would be like that. The ham was you know was very good. I was like, okay, I could see this. Like I could
So
see
people need to go there, and if you're a ham person
yes,
and you were a vegan now, just go get a ham sandwich. And
yes,
just because one of the things that he told me when I talked to him was that the vegan meats that were on the market weren't scratching that itch for him. He didn't want to drop names, but we know what they are. But the ones that you see in the supermarket, and I agree with him, um, they just don't do it. That's why when I was vegan, I didn't eat any of that stuff because
yeah,
it just wasn't good. I'd rather
yeah,
just make curry with vegetables and enjoy a real dish that's not anything, it's not trying to be anything it isn't, you know?
yeah.
And so I agreed with him on that, but he wanted to try. And I think that it's the closest I have ever tasted and felt to anything non anything non-vegan. I'm not, I could eat a vegan hot dog, but the thing about vegan hot dogs is if you put all the hot dog stuff on them, you can barely tell. I mean,
Correct,
it's just like eating a not great regular hot dog. So it really
correct.
does feel real because the
You
consistency.
mask it.
But yeah, well, a not dog doesn't taste like a hot dog.
No,
It doesn't.
but I mean, I will say that
I
I
like
will
hot.
say oh, you like hot dogs. Hot dogs are great. I love hot dogs as well. Is that wasn't one of your categories, was it? Like best hot dog? That's not wasn't a foodie thing, huh?
No,
Either.
no,
No.
Jordan from Cholo Dogs is really pushing for that.
Yeah, I could imagine. I can imagine that. There's a lot of different hot dogs
Hey,
in
Jordan,
town too.
we love you.
What I will say that I had recently, because of the fact that I like, and it's something that I have tried to become more open in the sense of eating, of like, trying out different things. I had one of my friends from Winter Park Biscuit basically was like, "Hey, have you tried?" Nick was like, "Hey, have you tried the chopped cheese there?" And I was like, I didn't even realize you guys did that. I thought you guys just did chicken and biscuits and stuff like that. And he's like, no, we do this chopped cheese. And they use an Impossible Burger and they make a chopped cheese sandwich there.
So wait,
And
does chopped cheese traditionally have meat in it? So they put
yes. So
okay.
a chopped cheese is basically, a chopped cheese is New York's version of a Philly cheesesteak, but they use hamburger.
Where in
And
New
what they
York? Upstate?
no, New York City now. That's like the new thing in New York City now. Chopped
Oh,
cheese is like the new
well, where is
trend.
it from originally? Because it
I
wasn't in
want
New
to
York
say it's
City
like
for the
I want to say maybe
30 years that I
Brooklyn.
was
I want
there.
to Yeah, no, it wasn't when we were there. Like, it was not new. This is like a new fad. Chopped cheese, and basically what they're doing is it's literally a hamburger chopped up, like almost like chopped up. It almost looks like, and then they put all the ingredients that you would like almost like a Philly cheesesteak, and you would eat it like a sub
Consulting the
in that
oracle
version.
while you talk.
And so I had one of those at Winter Park Biscuit, and it was good. I ate half of it. I brought the other half because I wanted my wife to try it. She had it and she was like, the flavors are there. It's delicious. And so I mean, and obviously that kind of plays a testament to, like you said, Impossible
Originating from
Meats.
New York City. When?
Yep, yep. I'm telling you, it's a weird. I don't know. I never heard of it until, I just think it's funny
Legendary
because
chopped cheese? I've
yeah,
never,
yep.
this
We're
was
gonna
not
take
a
a field
thing.
trip. We're gonna take a field trip because there's a few places in Orlando that actually sell chopped cheese.
But I don't know what a
Uh,
real one tastes like.
I know that's the hard part. But that's kind of so for me, that was something that I was like, okay, I want to try it. I want to check it out. And like I said, I did ask, and I know that there's some amazing restaurants that are vegan. And I know one of them being obviously what was her name's Dejin Eats. Obviously she has amazing food. I know and that's one of the big things for me that I'm always kind of looking to try new places. So I mean, obviously, if you have a vegan restaurant, and it doesn't have to be, I will tell you this: if it has just like, I love vegetables, so I don't have a
You like
problem if it's
Taco
like,
Bell Crunch Wraps?
yeah, I do love Taco
You
Bell
got to
crunch
go to
wraps.
Leguminati then.
Okay.
You got to go check them
They make
out.
a good one with like, they make it like, and that's the thing, like I don't have a problem if it's like like if it's like sauteed broccoli and vegetables and a whole bunch of mixed vegetables into a sandwich or something like that, or into a crunch wrap. I'm down for that. I'm down for that, or even
But
with
they
pasta,
also do they do some of the fake meats there
the
too.
jackfruits and all that stuff too.
Yeah, but I think they do more. I don't know which product they use. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but they do a good job, you know, recreating that. I believe it was ages ago when I talked to her, but Bex from Leguminati, that was like
Mhm.
her thing in
Yeah.
high school. She loved to go to Taco Bell and get a crunch wrap. Now she's vegan and she found a way to still do that. So, and
Do you,
people love that stuff. So it's not surprising. But this is what I mean. Like, this is not diet food,
no,
you know?
no.
So
Out of curiosity, do you know? And I've always kind of curious about this because obviously
ethos is not diet food. It's
it's a
like
great business aspect. I mean, I think it's like, I saw something like 45% of restaurants are, either, obviously a majority now all have some form of plant-based or some form of vegetarian plant-based style on their menus. But I think I saw something recently where it was like 45% of the restaurants are some version of a plant-based type thing. It's like it's becoming more and more of obviously a common thing. How many, at least in your knowledge, I'm picking you as an expert, do you know like how many of them actually are, like, I know obviously this is a great business concept, and I'm thinking now more in the business side of things, like,
how many, what is the
how
question?
many owners, do you know how many owners actually are vegan, or like, you know what I mean, like, have you come across any that own like a vegan restaurant but are not vegan?
No, I don't think so. No,
Okay.
no. But I can't speak to them
No, no,
cheating. I don't know
no.
who cheats.
No,
I
I
don't
know,
know who
and
cheats.
I'm
But
not asking
no,
you to name names. I'm
but
just curious
no, I'm just thinking about it. No, no. And
because in my brain I
even
think
the
about it.
people who work at press, who are vegans and also butchers. Like they butcher real steak, but they don't eat it,
Yeah. That's
you
interesting.
know? Um, but no, and when I'm thinking about, Justin's a vegan, Ethos is vegan, Jen from Dejan is vegan, everybody's vegan. Everybody I know personally who I've met and talked to for the purposes of work who owns a vegan place is a vegan, to my knowledge. And they weren't always, they all had their own journeys. Some of them, it was more ethical. Some of them, it was health related. Some of them wanted, yeah, everybody comes to it from a different direction.
Yeah. A
For
lot of them.
me, when I tried it, it was like definitely, it was crazy. When I went vegan and I didn't cut portions, I didn't do anything. I lost 10 pounds without
Wow.
doing anything other than cutting animal products out of my diet. But man, you never saw people faster. They'd be like, "Wow, you look great. What'd you do?" I was like, "Well, I went vegan," and you just see them glaze over.
They're like, yep, nope, nope,
Not doing
nope.
that.
Yeah, my daughter asked me that question, and I was like, you think I would want to, but no. I was like, no, I unfortunately, and the Kind Cleaver was, if I remember correctly, on For Your Foodie Awards, they won your Critics' Choice.
Yes, I am amazed by what they do. And we've been talking about the sandwiches, but I need to also throw this out there. They do a mac and cheese. Again, cheese for me, vegan cheese, but the mac and cheese, pretty darn good for vegan mac and cheese. Dharma Southern does a really good version of that as well. I'm so picky with mac and cheese. I probably like more people's vegan mac and cheese than actual mac and cheese.
Really?
Yeah, I'm super picky. Mac and cheese is like 1,000,000 calories. If I'm going to eat like a bowl of somebody's mac and cheese, it has to be outstanding. Outstanding. The recipe that I put in the Sentinel for the 5 cheese mac and cheese, that is the best recipe for mac and cheese. Not vegan. But
Not
to get back to the to get
yeah.
back to the Kind Cleaver, the quinoa salad side that they had was just so delicious. It reminded me how much I love quinoa, and I dug it out of my pantry and was like, "Oh, I have to make some because it's been a while." They do a great job, and again, they have phenomenal bread from Old Hearth. One of the things that I'm dying to try is they have good names. They have a sandwich called the Plunge that I know is one of their most popular, and it's their take on a French dip.
Nice. I love
And
that. I do
I
love
would
the
love
names.
to try it.
Yeah, they have some great names too. I did enjoy their all the different names
Yeah,
of
they
their
wowed
sandwiches
me.
and
And
everything.
Market on South, it's been a vegan place for a while. You go there, first of all, the sandwiches are huge. And so it may be a $15 sandwich, but it is 2 meals. It is incredibly shareable. So it is
Yep.
not expensive at all.
Hmm.
And right there you have you have a plant-based coffee house, you have a vegan ice cream slash dessert
And the
shop
desserts and
right
yeah,
there,
they have
and they're
beautiful
good.
desserts. The ice cream looks good. Everything looked good. While I was waiting for it, I was like looking at everything, and I was like, the pastries looked amazing, and
I got
the
the
ice cream
coconut
looked good.
oat cookie and it was really good. So I recommend that. The oatmeal cookie was good. The coconut oatmeal, I can't remember exactly what it was. That one was really, really good. So
It's awesome.
I'm
No,
a
I
big
can't.
oatmeal cookie fan.
Do you have a favorite? Since you're talking desserts, do you have a favorite vegan dessert place?
Um, well, I mean, Greenery Creamery and Sampaguita have vegan stuff on the menu
Yep.
always. And not just sorbet, they have ice
Yeah.
cream too. So that's they have vegan halo halo. How can you at Sampaguita? How can you say no to that? It's amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't know my favorite. I don't know enough. I love Valkyrie donuts,
Oh yeah.
which is also breakfast
Yep. Yep. Yep.
because it's a
No,
donut.
that's
So
funny.
you can
That's the funny
pretend.
part. Like, I think if someone said to me like, "Hey, we're vegan," I'm like, "Vegan desserts? Yeah, I could talk a little more about those." Yeah, yeah, that's one of
I
Valkyrie's one
love
is amazing.
Valkyrie donuts.
Yeah.
Huge fan. I like a lot of them. The churro is my just nothing has knocked that one off the top of my list.
Yeah.
But
No,
I also like just go grab the nugs, like a cup of the donut holes,
mhm.
which they call nugs, and those are great for the car. Fits right in
Yep.
your cup holder. and you can
Mhm.
just eat them while you drive. I do a lot
Road
of eating in the
donuts.
car.
Road donuts.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you gotta check out Valkyrie. Great stuff. And there's a new donut shop that I heard about, that's vegan that I wanna go check out, so I'll report back when I go do
Oh
that.
yeah, definitely do. I'm curious of that. I'm all about I love I will say this. I give total props to places that can create amazing tasting food, whether or not it's one or the other. Like if it's, it doesn't matter. Good food is good food, with good flavors, and those are the things I always am looking for. So I definitely appreciate, when someone's making something that has, all the different flavors, and is actually just, opening up your taste buds to try new things. I think that's kind of the best part of the journey of being able to try, and also being open to trying new
Keep an
foods.
open mind.
Yeah.
That's what I say to people when they hear the
Yeah.
word vegan. I see their eyes glaze over. And this was, I didn't feel like it was fair, 10 years ago or whenever it was that I did this. I'd have to pinpoint it. But today they have so many more things out there, so many restaurants, you know, you people should eat more plants. It's better for the planet. So, you don't have to be a vegan to help solve the problem. You cut the meat or the animal products out 1 day a week, 2 days a week. You're cutting out a lot of the things that we're trying to fix.
Yep. Eat some more
So,
vegetables, add some more spices,
yeah,
get
less of the fruit, people. It's good.
yeah, eat the greens, folks. Eat the greens, and all the other ones. I definitely, I do agree with that.
Peanut butter.
Um,
I mean, peanut butter is a perfect food.
you'd put it on cake, wouldn't you?
I've eaten it on burgers. I've eaten it on Impossible Burgers.
All right, there you go. That's great, though. That's
Yeah.
good. I love that. I think this has been fun. I definitely want to be able to talk more about all the different types of food. I definitely think it's something that we should look into. I'd love to talk more about just different foods out of the norm to eat. Not saying that eating vegan is out of the norm, but I think it's something that would be
It's
fun to
less
be
and
able to
less
share.
it's less and
It's
less obscure. Everybody
oh
has
yeah,
at least one friend who's a vegan or a vegetarian.
correct.
Um, and there's just so much good food out there,
Yep.
to knock it. Don't yuck other people's yum. Try it.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, and definitely take a look, and if you recommend places, we're down for recommendations. So we're always ready to hear new places to eat, new places to try. If there's obviously I eat more than just sandwiches, folks. So I'm all about just tell me where and where what we can try, and I'm willing to try it. I think it'd
Yeah,
be
we'll
good.
go. I'll
Yeah,
go.
I think it'll be
I'll eat
fun.
anything.
You will eat
I
anything.
will. I will. I'll eat pretty much anything.
I love it. Oh, well, I think that's our show for today. And I appreciate you telling me to and inviting me and asking me to go eat at the Kind Cleaver. I definitely probably wouldn't have eaten it if it wasn't you and I talking about it and saying to give it a try, and I'm glad I did. I
I
got
love it. You can go
yeah,
buy that ham, and if you just sub that ham into your Cuban, you can make your Cuban less,
yeah.
animal forward. You can cut some calories out of it. You can add protein into it because some of this
Hmm.
stuff has more protein
Yeah.
than animal protein,
Or maybe good ham
and
and
just be a little
cheese,
bit
grilled cheese
healthier.
or something like that with it.
You'll be just think about if you have that if you ate a Cuban every week and you just cut the ham out, how many saturated fats would you be eliminating from your diet?
Quite a bit. I don't eat a Cuban every week though, but yes, I if I did, that would be a wise decision to definitely add as a substitute to be able to do that. Try to eat more greens or eat less meat once a week is definitely something that my wife and I discuss quite often.
Ooh, wait. You know what I
Yeah.
just thought of? You
What?
know who has a really good, I think it's vegan. I'll double check it. Hen and Hog does a collard green. It's like a sandwich made of collard greens. It's like a collard green grilled
Nice.
cheese. I will double check the facts and you can put it in the
We'll
notes.
put it in the show notes. We'll put it
But
in the
it's
show
really
notes for
good.
some top
I'm not sure
places
if
that
it
we like.
might be vegetarian, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say it also might be vegan. And if it is, highly recommend. Either way, if you're vegetarian, I recommend it.
I love it. I love it. Well, that's our show for today. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening to Let's Eat Orlando with
Amy, Drew, and Biggie.
Have a good night, everyone.